Hello there, this is Patricia from Pinky's World, and this week I'm using up some old stash. And now the in colours have retired, I'm using up the old set from 22 to 24, I think. So they're lovely colours. I've gone with the Starry Sky, and this one is what? Parakeet Party. And I've added some of the more dazzle paper if you have a wee bit of it left. It's a 1-inch wide by 4-inch deep box. Well, it's 3 inches wide this way, so it fits my box or pack of soap perfectly from Oriflame, which I'll be gifting to somebody. So I've made two wee side closures here just to keep it from peeking out. I've made a wee closure here to help hold the box closed. You don't have to do it, it'll stay closed anyway. I've decorated the front by cutting through and adding an extra star, and did the same in the back. And it's just a nice wee bright box. But as I'm using up old stash, I have no more of the Parakeet Party. I haven't enough left to make another box, so I'm going with white and the lovely sweet sorbet. So same papers from the same batch. So that's what we're doing. If you want to carry along with me here, the measurements for your base, I'm using just the plain white card. You're going to need a piece that is 8 1/4 inch wide by 6 1/2 inch deep. And we're going to do some scores. So you want to score it at 1/4 inch at the side here. Oops, should really do it at the other side. Oh, so much handier. But 1/4 inch, and then we're going to 1 1/4, and then 4 1/4, and 5 1/4, and then we're just going to spin it round, and we want to go at 1/2 inch, and then 1 1/2, and then 5 1/2, and that's your score. So if you keep your box facing this way, you'll know that which way I'm going with my cutting. So keep your, this way, back to front. Keep your small 1/4 inch line here and your 1/2 inch up here. So you have 2 1 inches across here and 2 1 inches down here. And I'm going to mark it just with a pencil just to show you what I'm cutting off. So you don't need that wee corner there, and you don't need this one. This is going to be the closure of your box, so you'll be slapping it in a wee bit. This one we're going to keep like half of that. So you can take out this and this. Down here you can take this one out, and we're just cutting up each of these. So that's all right. This side you want to keep half of this one, cutting out those, and cutting out all of this. So they're all disappearing. So if you go off and do that, I'll do mine and we'll compare. So your piece should look like this. You've got 2 wee bits here that are going to be the closures, and this will be your bottom. So we're just going to go now and do all our folds. So this wee one's a bit tricky. I did this only at 1/4 inch so that we wouldn't have to cut into the wide side of the sheet and just save a wee bit of card. But if you're not fussy, or if you have a 12 by 12, go for 8 1/2 inches instead of 8 1/4. But it holds the best. Just score all those. And you can see I cut in the 2 1 inch strips, top and bottom. Just curve them in a bit just to keep them out of the way when we're making the box. So, did I do it all? No. So give this one at the top a good crease, because this is your closure and you want it to take nicely and behave itself. So the better you burnish it, the better it'll sit. So that's the way we are. This is going to just close up like so. Really simple. They'll glue together and that'll be your box shape made. But we may as well put our what he calls on there, papers. So you want 2 strips, and these need to measure 2 6/8 wide by 3 6/8 long. So they will fit perfectly inside here, but we don't want to stick those down yet because we want to cut our stars. And if you use the beautiful balloons, it's the set I'm going with today, the wee bundle. Not available as a bundle now, but I think they're still available in this catalogue. So maybe they aren't. I could be wrong, but do whatever you have. If you have a die of some shape, sort, or description, use it to cut. If you put the 2 pieces together, you can go in through it twice. Just make sure you center them and set them where you think it looks nice for you. We're going to put a sentiment top and bottom, so keep it in the middle, and I'll be back in a second. Now, when you pop that, that should take the 2 of them out, yeah, perfectly for you. So you have 2 wee stars there you can use for a matching tag or whatever project you fancy. So I'm hoping these are available. You know, I honestly think they aren't, but some of you may have them. So these will go here, and you want to stick those down and make sure that you get glue right in to these wee corners here too, so it sits nice and flat. I mean, at this stage, if you wanted to make a shaker card, you could do all that, but I think shakers don't work particularly well on boxes unless they're made of true card, you know, because they're going to take too much of a battering in papers. And this one is a more adult one anyway, so try and just get in right around the edges there without going over. And it doesn't matter with the stripes up or down, it'll work both ways. Just make sure you're in the center. And just make sure they're all nice and flat. So I'm going to do the same to this one, and for your other bits you need a piece for the top and a piece for the bottom that's going to show, and they need to be 6/8 of an inch wide by 2 6/8 this way. The long ones for in here, they need to be 6/8 of an inch wide by 3 6/8 long. So everything's going nice and coordinated, so you can go ahead. Don't stick the bottom one on yet. You can stick your top one on those 2 and this, and I'll come straight back. So that's everything stuck in place there, bar the bottom piece that we're keeping. We'll do the decoration of the front and back last. So we'll want to join these up now. This is your wee 1/4 of an inch, and if you put some either good sticky tape or this glue here, tomboy. So just set that down, fold that flat, and they should meet nicely. And just to make sure that they take, whoops, evenly. Just push it that way too. And that should give you a good sturdy shape of a box. So we'll close the top and we'll work on our bottom. And these are going to push in, and we're going to put a wee bit, just a wee bit. It's not doing much work, it's just to keep them flat. And this is going to be our front, so we want this one going in last. So we shall push this one down. And this is the time you want to square everything up. And then go inside with your long bone folder, scissors, whatever you have. Ugh, get a grip of it. Just press those down so they've taken okay. And then double check your box end. That's fine. So we're going to stick this one down now. Just make sure it's nice and straight. And that gives it a nice wee sturdy bottom, and then we can stick this in place. All the measurements you need will be below or else on the blog. I can never remember where I put them. And just stick that nicely in the bottom there, just rather than leaving it plain. So that is our box. This is the front. So we want to work on our wee stars. So I have cut, I should have more stars than that. Where did they go? I've done 2 in the white, the small star out of that pack. So if you don't have a star punch, mimic the design that you have cut out for the center. I'm going to stick these 2 together, just to make them sturdier, just back to back. Just trying to get the glue right to the tip so that it all takes. And then make sure you line them up well before they get stuck. Just hold them by their quarters, that'll line them up for you. And that gives you a good sturdy one. And that is going to stick to the front of your box here. We're going to sort of use those lines to line it up. Doesn't need to go much lower than that. So choose which section you're going and put a bit of glue just in the lower end of about 2 ends, if you get what I mean. 2 points. You can see the glue there just halfway. And then we want to make sure we do that right. We want that sitting here in the center of your lid, and use those 2 points to line you up. God, this is not easy, sure it's not. Nearly. There's a way to make it look hard, I find it. So just make sure your star's nice and straight. And then make sure that it sticks well for you. Okay, so we're part way there. That will go down the front, and then we'll have this one is going to sit on top, or you can leave it white, entirely up to you. I'm going to actually stick these two. I definitely had more of those cut. They're probably on the floor. I'll find them later, but I'm going to have to cut more now. But anyway, on the front I used a dimensional on one of the stars that I cut from that more dazzle paper, which is also retired, but as I say, some of you may have this stuff. Center that in the middle of your cutout star. This will be easier if you put your soap bar in, wouldn't it? And then on the back, I just put this one flat so that it didn't make the thing sit funny when you set it down flat. It doesn't need to be raised. So just use the points to guide you. I love that dazzle. Just that wee added bit of bling really makes a difference. So as I said, I did have one cut for the other, but don't know what I've done. I'm going to cut another one. In fact, no, yeah, I'm going to cut it because I think the white is just lost, isn't it? It really needs a bit of dazzle, so we'll be back in a sec. You can see I cut 4 out, but I've only got 3, so I had to cut another one. I've only got 2. Anyway, this is going to now attach to this, but we don't want it stuck here. We want to stick it up at the top. So if you use a tiny piece of your dimensionals, just that, cut that wee triangular piece off. And that's going to sit like that. This bit is going to sit on top of it, but we need it to be out a wee bit just so it catches. So if you use that edge of the box, actually, that's what I'm going to do. I'll stick it on this so you can see it better with my big fingers in the room. So close your box to where it will close, hold it, and then set this just above where the closure is. And then you can take this off and add your star on top. Just make sure you're lined up properly and press it. And you can see you have a wee gap between See the ink all over my fingers. Between the two stars, and that's where the lid's going to slot in and hopefully behave itself. No, it's not. Sure it's not. Give it another wee score. And that should fit in nicely for you. I'm going to put my soap in because I think that always helps. These boxes are always like this. If you have a tip, give it to me please, because I've tried everything. This one's a wee bit bulkier than the other one, which is pushing my box up. But hopefully that will make it behave itself from it. Oh, come on, you're having a laugh. Well, there you are. It behaved itself. So now, where are we? We need to do our stamping. This is taking for ages, isn't it? So the stamp that I've used, where did I put you? Here you are. It's I think it's time for a celebration. I want the celebration separate, and you can see there's a wee bit of that F comes down, so you need to be careful when you're cutting it. I stamped it on here and clipped it so close you can just about catch it there, but you'd need to really know what you're looking for, and then I cut this one separate. So I did that onto the matching card, but as I say, this time we're using white, so I'll just go with the same old colour. Look at that for stamping. You're a twit, Patricia, today. Right, I'm going to go right down to the bottom here. And I didn't stamp that well at all. I'm flipping that over. Down again. Right, that's as close as I want to go. Now we want to stamp the top part separately. And that doesn't matter if you get stuff on it. Just there, both are stamped. Put this away. So you can either go in with your scissors, or this one I'm not keeping, I'm just keeping the celebration. So I'm going to cut right in just above the letters so that I'm avoiding that wee tail of the R. I'm just cutting really close right the way across. And I'm just keeping the edges straight. So that shall sit here. And that's good, it has avoided that. Now I'm going in with this one, and this time we're going to cut around it. I'm just following the curl of the letters right across. Around that wee F. You need to really stamp it twice, otherwise you'll not get the, you know, you'd lose a bit on this. The F would be too close to the edge of your paper. Cut that off out of my road. Just continue round. Oops. And round it off a wee bit here. And that gives you a nice wee finish. So I'm going to raise this one up using these. These are leftovers from a nice kit that I had. And they're just the perfect size for that wee small letter. Where am I going here? Just need a wee bit. So we shall stick this one down. So just choose how far up you want to go, or how far down, whatever. Try and keep it straight. This one I just put flat because it's so close to the lid that I didn't want it interfering. So just a wee line of glue. take it up without getting covered. So, oh, everything moved over there, stuck to my finger. Try and get it in the center again. So, that is this, finally. That wasn't too bad, actually. Sure it wasn't. It's good fun. And they do make lovely wee gifts, I think. God, I forgot to turn autofocus off. I hope it hasn't been bouncing around the whole time. But anyway, they are great wee boxes, aren't they? And as I say, you could put chocolates in them. You could put, I don't know. I'll think of something else that could go in there. I'm sure you have lots. Just wee treats of some sort. Sadly, they're probably gone. I don't think they're in the new catalogue, but oops, if you have them, sure, have a wee go at it. If you haven't, improvise. Use a different shape, a circle or whatever, and have a wee go at it. The box size itself is pretty good, and as I say, you're getting one out of a sheet. So that is me done. I think I've exhausted myself. Now I'm going to lay down in a dark room. Catch us all again next week. Bye.